everyone, welcome back to my channel. I resurrected from the dead. Just kidding, I've been busy with exams for the past 2 months and I decided to take a break from YouTube to focus on exams entirely. Sadly, that's something I will do once in a while as I cannot keep up with the pace of university exams and make videos for YouTube at the same time. I would love to make art more full-time, but yeah, this is the current situation and I hope you can bear with me when I'll disappear for a month during sessions, and thank you so much if you do that. I appreciate it. Now I'm preparing some tea. It truly helps me relax when I'm tired from all the hours of online lessons, and it also helps me focus on things more, which is great. Tea is really one of my favorite things to drink, and it's kind of a ritual which gets me connected with my interior self. The general preparation is always so soothing, and the smells, in particular I love fruity aromas, and yeah, I'm accompanying it with editing this video you can find on my Instagram if you want to watch it. These are my new entries. This is my cactus me and my sister called it Bobby, and I also bought this box which was supposed to contain my Polaroids but ended up being too small, so I put my washi tapes inside instead. So I'm gonna paint with acrylics and I'm using golden products mostly. These are my mediums, a gloss medium and a retarder, then white gesso and a gloss varnish. This is going to be my third work with acrylics and my very first portrait, and right in that moment I was quite excited but also scared that I would mess everything up, and perhaps that was the thing that scared me the most because I was intending to upload a video after 2 months and it would have been really upsetting if I didn't make it. I'm now laying out the base, and I must say this was the ugliest sketch I've ever made, probably. Besides, I normally sketch before painting because I love sketching, and maybe even to see some pencil through the paint, but with acrylics that's completely different. I mean, I can totally sketch the base, but with little to no details. However, I've learned that most artists sketch the base directly with the paint, so that's something I definitely want to start doing. Also as a good exercise to detach from the pencil sketch. Not that I have to, but it's good to try out things far from my comfort zone. Not only did I pick the wrong pencil, too big, which is pretty soft, but I also laid down the color ground after sketching, so it resulted in smudging some parts of it, but yeah, you learn by making mistakes. And this first part is basically me painting the first layers that act as a base for the skin and hair color. I wanted to start with a middle tone and then add darker and lighter shades afterwards. First, I was having a hard time with shading because acrylics tend to have a very fast dry time and can't be reactivated like gouache. And even though I was using some retarder, I still have to get used to it and learn the quantity of color that I need. I noticed that I'm afraid to use too much color and end up wasting it, so instead I put little color on the palette, and it's okay. But sometimes when I have to recreate the same tone, I can actually make it, because acrylics also dry darker. And yeah, it's all a matter of time and practice, but it's good to notice what I find trouble in and figure out a solution. For example, I need to paint the back of the palette with a light gray that is the perfect background color to avoid perceiving the colors darker or lighter than they actually are. And anyways, my goal is still the same: step away from realism and achieving more of an impressionistic touch. big brush strokes and less shading, and I think that acrylics will help me reach it. So where am I going? Well, my boyfriend invited me at his house to spend the 3 weeks of lockdown together. I accepted, and that's basically it. As soon as I arrived, I reorganized my space. I stayed on the third floor of his house, which was very generous of his family because I had a lot of space all for myself, and finally also some good lighting for painting. What I'm doing right now is going back on the face I had done the day before, because now that I had direct sunlight, I could notice how much difference different colored lights make. I don't have good lighting in my house, and especially when it turns darker or during the night, I have to use my white LED light, which is the only one I have at the moment. And you can already guess that white lights are actually not the best for painting. And in fact, the face turned out way darker than I wanted it to be. I was going for a pale skin, but in general, there was not much difference between the shadows and the midtones. Everything was pretty flat, so I just redid everything. It's now time for a break, and I wanted to show you my boyfriend's cat, Neko, which is the Japanese word for cat. So the cat is called cat. For my break time, I wanted to prepare some tea with my new 𝓶𝓾𝓼 tea set. The 𝓶𝓾𝓼 or chado is the Japanese tea ceremony which has now become a household ritual, and the preparation includes 5 important elements. The chasen, a tea whisk and crafted from a single piece of bamboo. The chashaku, a tea scoop also made of bamboo. This set also came with a kusenaoshi, the whisk holder, which helps it retain its shape for a more long-lasting life. Then the chawan, the tea bowl, which, by the way, has outstanding details and, oh my god, a pure color, beautiful. And of course, water and matcha. I bought this set because I enjoy both tea and Asian culture, and I wanted to immerse myself in the Oriental culture more because I like it so much. After pouring some water, I start to whisk using very quick movements, forming a W or M motion to mix the powder into a uniform consistency and to avoid clumps, something that happens when powder meets water. At the end, it should look like foam, but as this was my first time, I may have done it incorrectly, so yeah. And now back onto painting, I have mixed emotions about hair. Generally, it's not a priority of mine and I don't put that much focus into it, but now that I'm working with layers, I feel like I should give it a little bit more attention. As for the colors, I definitely have to practice more, but above all, study some color theory. Even though the result came out decent, I had some trouble finding the right hues and values, and then made me realize I know literally nothing about color theory. Definitely terrible, but not embarrassing because I'm learning, and not knowing something is completely normal. I always call myself aspiring artist because the word artist feels such like a heavy word for me. While it's true that we never stop learning, as for me personally, I really don't see myself as an artist yet because I have so much to learn and to practice. That's what I aspire to be one day, but not really what I would call myself at the moment. I will probably associate the word with my persona when will have learned most of the theory and techniques and made enough paintings, sketches and drawings to say, hey, I have actually learned and done so much that I arrived at the point in which I found a personal style, found a palette of colors that I enjoy and around which I will experiment more, most definitely. But I don't know, I don't know if this makes sense. I would love to hear your opinions on the topic. For now, this is what I think, but it's like it only extends to my work because this is really personal, I think. Anyways, I'll stop rambling and leave you to the rest of the painting. A few days later, I decided that I wanted to prepare a Cuban dish as I'm half Cuban, half Italian, and I wanted to share this part of my culture and engage with it, not only with my boyfriend, but also with you guys. So we're gonna prepare arroz con pollo, which is rice with chicken, basically. To start the cooking process off, it was obvious to me that my boyfriend had to wear a cute kitchen apron. Without it, no lunch. We're starting with washing the rice until we have clear water, then we peel the carrots and then we cut them together with some peppers. We put some oil in the pot where we'll cook everything and soon after the already marinated chicken legs. We spread some turmeric powder, cumin and pepper over it. And after some time, when the chicken is more goldish, we add more salt and cumin. When the chicken's ready, we add some beer and some vegetable broth and the carrots and the peppers, and we let them cook. As soon as it's done, we move the chicken legs and cover them with a lid to prevent them from cooling, and in the same pot we pour the rice. We let it cook and for about 20 minutes and the dish is done. End of my Latina moment. Soon after lunch, I wanted to relax by sketching quick figures with charcoal. I love charcoal, but I don't use it that often. In general, I don't sketch much due to the lack of free time, but it's something that I understand it's important to learn doing, even if it's a rough sketch. That's basically what I'm doing right now. I am picking references from Pinterest, and I started roughly sketching. Actually, what I did was a more defined sketch first, and then something stripped from every imaginable detail. I find that doing the latter with charcoal helps a lot with shadow studies and also learning how to deconstruct a figure till you depict it at its basic lines. So, as we're coming to the end of the video, I hope you had a good time with me. I hope I was some way of company in these rough days. So I thank you so much for being till the end. Stay safe and see you soon. Bye.